Alright, that was not a good call. I don't know, he was very cagey, did not want to be there, super short. I would never work with that guy anyway, like that's just a red flag. Alright, day 8 I think, yeah. As I said last night, not a whole lot got done. It's just one of those days where I had other commitments and that's fine, like it's no stress to me. Bit of a slow start this morning, had a late dinner, so it was good though. It's very important that I had to go to that dinner. And yeah, build on some of the connections that I've been working on in the background. So last night I had a couple of bookings. Both of them look a little bit small. One's another golf brand, one's a skincare brand, but I'll probably just take them regardless. I think we're not really in a position to be turning down calls right now, so happy to take them and just offer them some sort of advisory, smaller package, maybe a one-off fee, because I think that'll help us get to our revenue target and it'll build more momentum. So yes, it is a little bit more work. It's not our ideal client, but I'm just going to take it on a case by case once I actually speak to the founders and get a feel for what they're like, how much time they expect, what they expect from us, all these kinds of things. So that's my reasoning for taking those calls, which I traditionally probably wouldn't. An onboarding call with the founder I mentioned yesterday, who's pretty accomplished, has a pretty big following already, understands what she's doing, so I'm keen for that. And then a little bit of existing client work, got to pretty much start doing a bit of an audit of their website, the customer journey, figure out where we can offer any improvements, give them advice on cleaning up their website, making sure it's converting as well as it possibly can. A lot of these things are ongoing CRO testing kind of situations, so I don't want to get stuck down running all their tests, because that itself is an extremely big undertaking. So the best way for me to do it is just present them my thoughts on what I think they should do, and then we can have a discussion around who's going to actually implement them. But yeah, it won't be us because we're already handling too much for them. And I just don't want to get into us running their whole brand. It's not what we had originally signed up to do. So, alright, so just finished at the gym. About to onboard our first client of the day, really. Only client of the day that we're onboarding. I don't know why I said that. But first brand that we're really going to start from the ground up. We've done it before. I've done it before. Jackson's done it before, but this one's a little bit different where we're doing it together. And it's the first brand that we're starting from the ground up in this new offer, so I'm very keen to document the whole process. So that's why I'm considering it as a first in terms of the offer and how we're going to structure it, what we're going to provide her with. It's not a very niche product. It's a niche product. It's a completely new product. She's developed it herself. We do have some, I guess, things going in our favor in terms of she has a really big social media following. She originally wasn't that keen to utilize it, but the best thing that I can possibly see for us to do and for her to be able to get this brand to scale as quickly as she wants it to is to utilize what she has at her disposal. There's only probably 1% of the people on social media that have a following of almost 100,000 people. I don't actually know the stat, I'm just making this up right now, but the amount of people that actually have that amount of followers is very minute, that she would be doing herself a disservice to not utilize it and try and crush it from the start. So just going to talk to her through that, get her onboarded, get her added to Shopify, get her ad account set up.
Just trying to sort all my shit out.
Yeah. How's it going?
good. Just like things just take longer than I planned for.
Yeah.
It's obviously an issue, but
Everything's all good with the supplier and production.
yeah. So I confirmed the production dates. That's kind of what I was waiting for to sign the contract. I just didn't want to sign it.
A call and just run me through it. And we can just just to get a second set of eyes to make sure you've got everything you need.
For
and
sure.
the photos that you want, are actually going to work for the desired, location.
Yeah.
I think, I guess this first month and this first period is purely just about making sure everything's set up the way it should be, the copies the way that we want it to be written, the website looks the way it should, it functions the way it should, so that when you do actually go to launch it, whether it's a soft launch or a hard launch, people can actually check out and they understand what they're going to be purchasing. So that's the biggest thing, is it's a new product and it's a new offer, it's a new brand. We have to be really clear on what the product does and educate people on it. So the most common trap that people fall into is they develop a product or they start a brand and they think, everyone else is as educated than me on this topic. Like everyone else is as educated than me on why they should use my product and why it's so great. But we need to transfer that knowledge that you have and you've been working on for the last couple of years and share that in a really easy and digestible format so that people and your potential customers understand what it is they're purchasing and why they should purchase it. So that's just going to be a big focus for me, is making sure that I'm pushing in that direction and making sure it aligns obviously with what you want as a final outcome, but we're also putting ourselves in the shoes of these brand new customers that don't know why they need your product just yet.
Yeah.
Alright, so just finished that onboarding call. Went really well. Just summarising everything in Otter and ChatGPT and sending it across so that it's all there, it's all in there. And now I'm jumping straight on to another sales call. So, that's not the right one. They're still on that. What is going on here? Sweet. Another no-show. I'll try and call in quickly. George, are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Jye de Zylva from ecommerce. How you going? A meeting. I had a meeting booked in my calendar. Just wondering if you were joining.
My bad. I'll join right now.
All right, cool. I'll jump in there.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Good.
Thanks for jumping on.
No worries. Sorry about that.
That's all right. How can I help? I had a little bit of a look at Xscript just before. Do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself and the brand and the history of it and what's happening?
So Xscripts just launched it in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
We're just trying to get some online sales happening. Sorry, but buying media, no.
I guess the way that it works and where we probably provide the most value is, as I said, we are an advisory firm, so we come in, we put together a plan for you to either take it and implement it yourself, or you have something that's already working, so you have product market fit, you're generating revenue, and we can go. It does become a harder lift if there is no revenue in the business, because we are constrained a little bit. It's hard for us to come in and say, hey, look, we can see you burning money in your ad account here. We can see your conversion rates down here. Like, there's none of that historical data for us to provide you with actionable and tangible advice. So the flip side of that
whatever you guys do would have to be cash positive. And that's kind of like, again, here's a fee and here's a media buy. And if you do well, that's fine. If you don't, well, we're an agency and that's what we do. Just let me know now, because that's probably not what we sign up for.
No, and I'm not trying to sell you just for the sake of it as well. It's not what I'm trying to do at all. The worst thing that can happen is we sign up with you and you feel like you're not getting anything out of it, even though we've done a whole lot of work, and you get to the end of the month and you feel disappointed and you feel like you're you're back to square one. So that's why I'm very transparent and very honest that like we try to avoid working with people that have no revenue purely based on this, because it is a lot. We're very upfront, and I'm not just, as I said, I'm not just going to sit here and try and sell you on what we can do for you. I know, we can do good work regardless of the brand or the size and what they're selling. It just depends on whether we can provide enough value that the founder feels that way as well. We're not just going to come in and run your business for you. Like, that's not what we do, and that's not what I'm trying to pitch you on. It is very much advisory first, and we execute on certain things depending on what working relationship we set up with the founder. But it all does come back to how much time you're willing to invest, how much you're willing to invest in the business, how much you're willing to learn and grow and run it yourself. It's not about us coming in and taking over the business.
Whatever we pay for is cash positive. So like if you say it's, I don't know, what's your fee or monthly fee, or what's your setup? How do you work?
We start at $5,000 a month for brands that obviously can afford that and are generating enough to be able to invest in that. We do step that down all the way down to
if $5,000 a month's achievable, but as long as we're getting $5,000 at least in sales at the end of that month, then we're sweet. But if it's $5,000 a month and we haven't got that in sales, then there's got to be some.
It comes back to, I'm not trying to pitch you on that. I'm not going to say to you, you pay us that money and you'll get it back. Like, come into a business that has no revenue and guarantee you generating more revenue. And if anyone does pitch you on that, then I would turn you back on them, because it's a red flag, to be honest. And I'm just trying to be very open and very honest with you now. That's not how it should work, and it's not how it would work.
No, it would only work if you had, if you really thought that this product was a slam dunk. So, and that's fine. Maybe we'll talk another time.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Look.
Yeah.
All the best. All right, that was not a good call. I don't know. He was very cagey. Did not want to be there. And that's okay. Like, I think you have to be comfortable turning down people that aren't going to be a good fit. It's a new product. It's very niche. Has absolutely zero revenue. I like the product. Like, there's nothing wrong with the product. I think it's cool. I would probably buy it myself. But just him himself was like very cagey. Didn't really want to entertain any sort of storytelling conversation. Yeah, that's just not who we want to work with. Alright, so I'm just chilling at the moment, lying down. I have the biggest fucking headache, so just trying to gather the strength to get back up and get back into it, but probably just gonna be another write-off, which sucks. Not too sure. Got so much client work to get on top of, and the client that we onboarded this morning, need to hit the ground running with them, so just gotta find the motivation to get back into it and do the work. Just not a good day. Alright, so last week I briefly spoke to a friend about a business idea she had. So she's back in Australia now. She just wants to catch up again, and kind of nut it out a little bit more. So see what she has to say, see what she's kind of thought about in terms of game plan, how she wants the business to run, what she's looked into. I haven't done anything else bar kind of speaking to her last week, so we'll see how it goes and see if there's any value that we can provide to her.
Office looks great.
It's in the living room.
Oh my god, shut up. So what, you set that up in the living room?
I had to.
It looks like the one that you've been like on all your content from.
Yeah, I brought like my bookcases and stuff over. It's just easier. I didn't want to start again.
Nah, what consistency?
Exactly. I'd only just set it up, so I didn't want to start again.
Europe was great. Had the best time.
Yeah. Always a scope there to enter the market. So the best thing to do when you're in this position is like not get overawed or like by the bigger players in the market. Just look at what they're doing and say, okay, these guys are doing this really well. So, you know, for example, whoever the biggest competitor is, like look at them and go, yep, this is what they do really well. But then you go to their reviews and go through all their bad reviews and figure out what people don't like about the brand. Because at the end of the day, if they're that big, there's going to be a whole cohort of people that don't actually like their products.
Yeah.
So you go and you kind of reverse engineer, like you look at what they're doing well and you go, great, you know, that's what I also have to do well. But then you look at what they're doing poorly, and look for commonalities between all the brands. So product review or Trustpilot or their Google business page. So one of those three, they're the only three, and Reddit actually, because they can't control Reddit either. Anything that's on their website,
they control,
They control. So, but what you need to look out for is look through these, sort by lowest, you know, like even if I look at these, it's like the first thing that sticks out to me is quality, just product quality. Yeah. I've seen cheap 5 times, private manufacturer to a bigger company, and they'll happily sell you something that is just part of their range, and you can go and compare that to all your competitors and go, yep, this is pretty much on the ball of what I want. It may cost you a little bit more up front, you know, to sell it, and your margins may not be great, but if you can go and generate $20,000-$30,000 in revenue just off the back of that, that's going to give you a whole lot more confidence. It's going to take so many unknowns out of it. Tips, the ability to get that feedback as quickly as possible and know if you're going down the right path. Whereas if you mull it over, develop a product for 6 months, invest 40 grand in something that's completely new to market, there is no guarantee that it's going to work. And that's just like, there really is 2 ways to look at it. You can do either way. Yeah. It's just whatever suits you personally and your position that you're in. And I get the feeling that moving quickly and being agile and, you know, not putting all your eggs into one basket right now is probably the better move for you personally.
But that's also just my mind.
It could be total order. So that's why, again, ordering from the same factory could also help you in the in the short term, because if they have a higher MOQ but you can order 50 of each SKU, that will get you to their MOQ that they want.
Yeah, that's what I was more meaning about the MOQ.
Alright, just finished up. Pretty monster call, but it was good. Got through a lot, offered a lot of advice, best way forward in terms of how she's gonna get the brand started. So excited to see that one come to life. She's a smart girl, and it's a good opportunity, I think, what she's working on. So I'll just keep helping out in any way I can for now. So obviously a good friend, so just do whatever I can and point her in the right direction. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Rest of the day, just gonna go for a run shortly. Got a lot of content to work on editing, so everything else is pretty much up to date. I'm pretty happy with where things are at from current clients and new clients. Yeah, obviously would like things to be working better. We want the ads to be working better, but just gotta keep refining it, keep filming, keep testing new angles and pushing it along. So yeah.